How controversial is the issue of structure for political parties?
Well, thank you so much. Last week, I remember the issue of what could make us have a run was really discussed by our team, and I was saying that 2023 will be an election like no other one. And you asked me why. And one reason I stated was the enthusiasm, the newfound love, the reason, the anger of the youth against what they call the establishment, which made them to rush out to want to register. And I was saying something about voters, etc. I'm coming to structure. Let me please take this. An average politician, old politician, knows that 2023 is an election like no other one. When we were younger than this, I remember in 1979, 1983, when I wanted to vote, they brought the umpire, whatever name they were called, the Fedeco, whatever they called, to our street, and we were made to queue and etc. Those of us who were able to. No, until 1983. Okay. No, 79, 83, before option A4 came. 79 was Shagari. The second, I didn't vote 79, okay, but I voted 83. Even if I was not yet 18, I was close to 18. So they brought. I'm trying to explain something. Politicians have a way to mobilize and galvanize for registration. They will tell you to rig election, you start with registration. But that is not possible again now. Do you know why? INEC, as an INEC official, you just can't go to anywhere to register. The laptop you are taking out, the gadget you are taking out, has been programmed to where you are going to take it. The moment you capture anybody from anywhere different from where that thing is, programmed to be captured, they will reject that election. So, what do you call it? Politicians realize that those new voters that comes in onto the voters register, they don't have control over them. And that's why I tell you that 2023 is an election like no other one. Quite a number.
Let me ask you this question, because from experience, we have seen that the crowd does not justify the result that we normally have when the election
the crowd where? The crowd where?
At campaign venues, when political parties are campaigning, the crowd you always see does not justify the election result that you get. What I meant by that is that the ratio of the crowds, the population attending campaign programs, when it comes to election, probably about 10% translates into the voting platform. In the same way, I'm looking at it is still whereby the influx of the younger generation that we are talking about, how concrete can their influx translate to voting?
That is where I kept on saying 2023 is going to be an election like no other one. These people went out to register because they have an axe to grant.
But there are some other school of thought that are saying that most of these people don't have the voting right, don't have PVC. They didn't register.
No, I'm saying those that registered. I'm not talking of those that didn't register. Okay. Those that went out to register, we all saw them when they were doing the registration. We knew why they went to register. But let me now go to the issue of structure. Okay. Register was running from structure. But you see, in the Nigerian election, as things stand now, there is no way we can do without structure. I listen to Labour Party, the Obedient, when they talk of, these are the structure. No, elections are like that. Like in Ogun State, for instance, Labour Party have no structure. In Ogun State, the way we talk, and I will explain. I'm talking of candidacy structure. Who is the governorship candidate of the Labour Party in Ogun State that wants to mobilize, galvanize votes, that wants to push things and make things to happen for Labour Party? When Educative is doing it, when an Otegbeye is doing that. So that is where it matters. Somebody needs to be there that will galvanize, that will mobilize, that have something to gain from the system. And that's the kind of things we call structure. Somebody who is there for you, who is going to do a lot of use for you, that will push people out. When there are problems or challenges, somebody wants to come out and speak and say, no, this is how to do this thing. That is what we call structure. When you look at Nigeria, I'm looking at it now. When you look at Nigeria, APC still holds sway in the north, whether in the northeast, whether in the northwest, whether in the north central. APC still holds sway. Now in the north central, We might talk of a lot of things happening here and there. Maybe it does not really belong to anybody per se. But when we talk of North Central, we are talking of 6 states. We are talking of Plateau. We are talking of Kogi State. We are talking of Benue State. We are talking of Nasarawa State. We are talking of, I think, Niger. I think Niger is in North Central too. Look, when you look at Plateau, Plateau will go everywhere. It could go APC, it could go PDP. It's a freelance state. And Labour too is coming up strongly there because it's a state where they have an axe to grind with the establishment. When you look at Benue, the same thing will play out.
South-South?
When you come to South-South, in fact, that is where it is pathetic for PDP. If Labour Party is...
In your opinion?
Yes. If Labour Party is going to be a threat to anybody, it is to PDP in the Southeast and South-South. Why? In 2019, in 2015, APC did not have major vote from the South-South or Southeast. I see that repeating itself. Whatever the APC does, I don't see anybody in the Southeast voting for APC, for Tinubu. I don't see anybody in the South, my opinion, I don't see anybody in the South-South coming say they want to vote for Tinubu. So if anybody is going to be at a detriment, it's PDP that benefited largely and immensely from the Northeast, from the Southeast and South-South in 2015 and 2019. And Obi has come up now. And that's why it's going to be a major problem, for them. In Southwest, apart from Lagos, because of the cosmopolitan nature of Lagos, where there might be upturn here and there, I don't see anybody claiming Lagos from APC because of Tinubu factor. I don't see anybody claiming Northwest from a Tinubu because of the strength of the governors that are there now. They are powerful in their state. So I don't see Northwest going outside Tinubu. So I see, if you ask me to give you a ratio, I'll say it is an 80% for APC in the Northwest, 80% for APC in the Southwest. In the Northeast, well, it could go here because of Shetima and what do you call it, Abaka Atiku's influence is from Adamawa. But when you talk of Borno and Gombe, I don't see anybody pushing APC out of that. Bauchi, the governor of Bala Mohammed of Bauchi has said his state is a Buharist state. He said it. So that is where another problem comes in for other parties in the North. So I am giving that election that is coming, the ability to get 25% of what is the technicality and number of votes I'm giving to APC. However, it does not mean that there might not be a rerun.
Thank you very much. Well, let's leave the general assessment of the political parties alone. Barrister, when you look at the campaign issues, I want you to also do an assessment of the political parties with the campaign issues. How have they been able to manage issues and not personal attacks?
All right. Well, they've been, in my view, there is palpable improvement. It used to be dirtier and messier before, where people would go to a mosque, for instance, and tell, those there that I'm a Muslim, vote for me. Some will go to church and say, I'm a Christian, vote for me. So it was that bad before, We had, even in...
But there are still glimpses of that.
Glimpses, now is exception. Then it was the rule.
Okay.
It was very bad then. We've had people, even in the Southwest, say, because, 2 candidates, of course, I wouldn't mention name. It was that bad before. So gradually we are gravitating to issue-based, campaigns. It used not to be so. And I tell young folks and people that I think we should be patient. In fact, we should be patient with our country. The countries we run to, we want to be like, they started from somewhere. Some of them are 200 years old. Last time I went to UK, I saw a particular building that was built in the year 16 something. That's over 400 years ago. So they've tried and failed to, I believe. So Nigeria will evolve. We should just be patient. All right, Emma Jaka Konju. Let's not be like a girl that was pregnant for the first time in her life, and at 2 months she was praying along with Georgia and Bimoyi. At 2 months, that baby, that girl will be praying for death. That's premature. That's exactly. So in the same vein, we should just be patient. I believe Nigeria will be better. I believe so. So gradually we are gravitating towards issue-based campaign. For example, this man is too old. He can't stand. For example, this one doesn't look serious. For example, this one is not forthright or truthful. So we are beginning to discuss, to analyze their person, rather than going to individual lives and say, you know, and throwing tantrums at people. So gradually, I think it's getting better.
USTAZ, I'm looking at, because when you look at the stability of any nation, economy is a very key issue. How do you see the political parties managing our economy? Can you see a difference in one political party compared with another?
Thank you so much. So far, so good. It has been the issue that quite a number of us have only want to raise, and we want a chance to engage us with in their narratives when they are campaigning to us. And that's one of the things I think Baisa was talking about, issue-based campaign. And I love what the can did when they engage Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I love what they did, giving him, these are the things we feel are important, jamming for Nigerians. Issue of economy. I'm being honest here. I want to look at the antecedent of an article when it was about Obasanjo and the roles he played. He came and said he wants to liberalize, sell, whatever it is, privatize, etc. We saw that those things were under his watch, under Obasanjo, and under Atiku's watch, and we all saw what came out of it. So I am beginning to ask a question that what is, is the economic point, the strong point of an article in being able to bring about a turnaround. And Obi, yes, he has done quite well in Anambra. Whatever it is people want to say, misgivings they have about him, he has come to show that he has what it takes economically. When it comes to intelligence, etc., the kind of things he has done, and the kind of words that he's saying, he understands it. We saw quite a number of those things in Anambra. Then also, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, out of all the three, I see him like somebody who has what it takes to bring about a turnaround in Nigeria economic woes and situation because of his antecedent, because of his training. When you look at it from when he was outside Nigeria, by the time he became the treasurer of Mobile Producing Nigeria and the kind of projects they did under him, and he was able to save Mobile, bring a turnaround in their financial woes. When he got to Lagos, he was able to transform Lagos. Looking at this trajectory, I believe that it seems to have more what it takes to turn around economic woes of Nigeria than the three of them, and I'm being objective here.
Well, you have a view? Maybe a short one.
Yes, we're very on economy, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I think that I've, cursorily gone through the formwork for the three of them, and of course, it is not about what you say you would do; it's how you get to do it. Before now, we've had politicians tell us they will do so and so. They will turn Nigeria to, they will bring you moon, put in your pocket and all that. But when Buhari said he was going to relocate the army headquarters to Sambisa Forest in 2014, this is 2022. Few more months to go. That has not happened. 3 meals per day for people, the money. So those things are not. So I'm not quite intrigued by, those things really. What we want is people who are serious with their words, and they will get there. And that trickles down not just to the presidency, to everyone campaigning. I think enough of the lies, because as we are doing that, maybe, of course, there are some unintended consequences. You are making younger people hate politics. The first time I said I was joining politics, my parents said, even my wife was scared, because so many people, we even say that politics is a dirty game. We can make it clean, all right, by being forthright, by being more truthful. A particular lawmaker, he was aspiring like me in 2019. Lawmaker, and he was going to people and said, "Ma son of funyi, ma hospital funyi. I would tie your rules and your lives." And how can a lawmaker be? Of course,
maybe he was trying to say that he will facilitate.
Almost 4 years ago, not a single one was started in that place. That's the point. So of course that was just what people wanted. People were not really, where he went, they were not really enlightened. They didn't ask him. And what I told them was, I would work with the government, with the governor, to ensure that that is done. That's a different ball game, really. Of course, I will stick to the truth, rather.
Let me ask you.
Than do that.
Let me ask you another question, and that has to do with the real-time polling unit result. How feasible, and what are the advantages and disadvantages?
The advantages are, I think I heard USTAZ talk about beavers all the while. The more there was MBA general elections, presidential elections in Nigeria, and I voted in my room in less than 3 minutes. I'm not exaggerating. So the more electronic things get, the easier. Think about it. We will not need soldier. We don't need police. We don't need NYSC. We don't need most of these people that we need. Have you heard how much was budgeted for these elections? You'll be shocked that to bring in just 1,250 people into Nigeria elected posts, that's the total, thereabout. You know, you will hear billions of naira, really. So the moment it is...
Alex is even saying they don't have enough. They want more.
You can imagine that, really. But if this is automated, like NBA election, I just voted in my room. I told you it was about 3 minutes. And I voted for the president, the vice, the secretary, all of them in less than 3 minutes, really. So nobody had to, you can't snatch a ballot box because there was not even ballot box. It was online, really. So the more automated it gets, the better. It's going to be cheaper for us, in fact. That's what I think.
With thank you very much, Barrister. With the level of development, with the electronic voting that Nigeria has come up with, when you have a contemporary comparison or comparative analysis of what is happening here with what is happening in the other client, why is it taking us time?
Definitely, our developmental level is really low compared to those other clients, and I don't see us getting there very quickly.
Why?
For obvious reasons that all of us know, our environment, our people, our mentality. But however, within our system, I share the view of those that have fear against e-voting for now. And I equally support the enthusiasm, the optimism of INEC. INEC is fighting a lone battle. I don't know that you saw it. Everybody within the political establishment don't want this progress that INEC is, kind of imposing on us. But I see that the way forward. We don't try it, we don't succeed. And I see that, I feel that's the way forward. E-voting is the way to go, whether we like it or not.
Your pressure group,
Yes.
talking about the NGOs,
Yes.
how far are they changing the landscape?
Quite a number of input is there. We saw what Yaga is doing nationally. We saw what quite a number of people, what C in Ogun State is doing. Quite a number of jobs are doing. We are signing charter, etc., with the government, making them to more practicable oriented, making them to have to show us, to be accountable to the people. It will keep on improving. I want to tell you.
Marisa, your last choice, not in this life, but on this program. Because I'm worried of that, your response.
Statement, yes, yes. My parting shots would be, for this program, would be to the youths again. I will speak and speak and speak. Somehow they tend to listen to me when I speak. They've invited me. You can confirm if you're listening to many fora to speak like that. And I will tell us to just keep on getting involved, all right? What we are doing now is to begin to profile those that are, we are, the pilot state is Ogun State. There's a movement, Young People's Movement. I lead it anyway with some other persons. So the idea is to, profile those that are, aspiring to be governors. What is their track record? What life have they lived before they came into politics, all right? And then we will try to throw our support behind the one that, of course, comes out the best, when it comes to their lifestyle before they got into politics. So every youth, please get involved. Join a political party. Let's begin to make a change. Thank you.
Not only the youths should be involved, all of us, all the stakeholders. And when we are talking of inclusiveness, whether you are an artisan, a market woman, a politician, educationist, or whatever you hold your sway, please let us come together and make Nigeria better. Thank you for being with us all these years. We are once again thanking you. It's been a time that we're going to call it a day for this program. Until next week, when we have another topic for discussion, I want to thank Barrister KAYODE ADEREMI.
Thank you so much, sir.
For creating time to be here.
Thank you so much, sir.
God bless you.
Amen. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
USTAZ, LAWAL JUBRIL.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you for your comments and thanks for your efforts.
Thank you for
Until
having me.
next week, we want to thank you once again for being with us. You made this program. Thank you. Bye.
how una dey? Ogbonge tori, issue of the day, and matter wey chop rice. All join inside how una dey. How una dey on Saturday on top ODTV, the People's Den. Ogbonge pidgin program for everybody wey sabi how una dey. On Saturday,